It was a cold Tuesday morning around 7:15 when everything shifted. I was having coffee in my driveway at 428 Oak Lane when I froze in my tracks. My neighbor, Evelyn Harper, emerged from my garage as if she owned the place. This wasn't some good deed turned bad. She'd turned my haven into her own personal storage unit. That degree of brazenness signaled the start of a full-scale war, one that exposed not just her arrogance, but the way in which racism was used, and how our community let it occur. My name is Marcus Reed, a 40-year-old accountant running a web business in restoring classic auto parts from home. I had lived in Pinewood Grove for 6 years and kept to myself most of the time. Then Evelyn's provocation set fire to a time bomb that evolved into an urban myth. Viewed millions later, here is how I knocked off a suburb tyrant who thought she could do what she wanted and triggered a firestorm in the bargain. The garage was why we bought the house, a workshop, neat and profane. There lived next door Evelyn, bleach blonde hair leaping in defiance of gravity, dressing in a sense of style so brash it almost yelled, "I'd like to speak to your manager." And with her 32-year-old son Brandon, a jobless computer gamer whose nights of wrath seeped into our shared wall. My garage had been occupied that morning. Stacks of boxes labeled gaming equipment and energy drinks. A 65-inch television squeezed between gaming chairs. Evelyn, in paisley jeans and a pristine blouse, dropped a box, glass shattered. "Morning, Mrs. Harper," I said coldly. "Oh, Marcus," she gushed, smiling. "Just storing Chad's things for a little while." "You don't mind, do you?" "I do, as a matter of fact. This is my garage." Her face twisted. Surprise, then irritation, then a saccharine smile. "But Marcus, you don't even use it hardly at all. Brandon's out of work, making a name for himself on Twitch. Be a good neighbor." I didn't budge. "I run a business out of here. Clear it out." The plastic smile dropped. "Your little car project?" she sneered. "Brandon's followers are more valuable." When I refused to give in, her tone turned cold. "You're new to the way our community functions. Recall when I was providing tips on landscaping?" "Oh, I recalled." She'd told me once that my okra and collards were too urban for Pinewood Grove, a way of saying they brought down house prices. I'd dismissed her then, and dismissed her now. "It's my yard." She stormed past me, jolting my shoulder with a push that screamed confrontation. I'd had a heavy-duty lock installed that day. Locksmith Dave took one look at the mess and grinned. "Neighbor problems? You'll want the bulldozer-proof model." As he worked, Evelyn and Brandon glared through their window. That lock reflected like a shield. I cleared my tools back to their resting place, keeping an eye so as not to claim any damage on Brandon's trash. Brandon swaggered up later, smeared on hoodie, wafting an air of abandonment. "Yo, Marcus, what's all this about the lock?" "My stuff's inside." "You didn't have any right to leave it there in the first place," I reminded him. His smirk faltered, then hardened. "Give me my stuff or we've got a problem." I didn't flinch. "The only problem is your mom stealing my garage." "The lock stays." He stomped off, whining to Evelyn. That evening, she rang my doorbell, casserole in hand. "Tuna noodle, Marcus. Everyone loves it. Good neighbors share space." I declined, firm but civil. Her smile cracked. "Brandon's anxious without his gear. And your plants? They're changing the whole neighborhood's character." The jab wasn't covert. Collards and okra once again. Racism in a good package. "My vegetables are okay," I replied. "And so is my lock." She slammed the dish on the table. "You'll be sorry. Pinewood Grove doesn't like troublemakers." I heeded that warning. Added 3 cameras. Garage, driveway, yard. Thursday morning, I woke to trash cans knocked over, bottles and cans strewn across the drive. Footage showed Brandon, 2:47 a.m., tossing them theatrically. By lunchtime, Evelyn and Brandon paraded around, running errands, shooting daggers at my garage. At 2 p.m., Evelyn knocked on my door, now dressed in a power suit. "Let's discuss like adults." She insisted, "Community harmony takes precedence over personal property." "A neighbor down the street has a shared garage." "Did they negotiate that?" I asked. "Implied goodwill," she snapped. "My lock is explicit," I replied. She complained about Brandon's sponsored future versus my hobby. Then the mask slipped. You don't get how Pinewood works. Some people just don't fit in. Others must accommodate. The racism wasn't even subtle now. I've lived here 6 years with no issues, I said. Your thievery is the disturbance. She warned me. Some battles aren't worth it if you're outmanned. Soon enough, Evelyn began mobilizing reinforcements. Mrs. Olson urged compromise. Tom Bennett warned that nay. By Friday, I'd been fined $250 by the HOA for excessive security, unauthorized modifications, and even Discord activity. Completely made up, but cleverly phrased. Then Chad tried to pick the lock with a crowbar. My cameras caught it all. Officer Carla Ortiz confirmed the attempted break-in, issued warnings. Saturday, my car was keyed. I rearranged the cameras. Chad again, spray-painted jerk on my garage. Ortiz suggested filling out a restraining order, vandalism, hate crimes, and racial targeting. Evelyn responded by filing a city complaint on my intimidating cameras. Denied. Monday, my insurance pinged me for storm damage to my fence. Nothing I did. A city inspector came by. Carl Weaver, prodding at my lock and garden loveliness. Chad streamed a meltdown, accusing me of holding his stuff hostage. Then Channel 7 News came sniffing for a racial controversy. I declined comment. Tuesday slurs were posted on my mailbox, cameras painted over. HOA letter. Fines upped to $500. Accusation, aggressive behavior. My lawyer, Sarah Coleman, called it what it was, a harassment campaign. Evelyn and Brandon were being videotaped as we talked, drilling into my lock. Ortiz arrested Brandon in the act. Evelyn shouted that I was harassing them, that I'd ruined her Christian boy. Sarah taped it all. Perfect for the restraining order, she said. Wednesday, Evelyn wrote a 2,000-word Facebook diatribe. Racist neighbor terrorizes family. Went viral. 400 shares within an hour. She victimized herself. Demeaned me as a savage black man frightening her innocent Christian family. Pictures distorted reality. My cameras now spying. My garden messy. Channel 7 aired her sob story. Dismissed every frame of my footage. Got 47 threatening voicemails. Over 200 notifications. A crowd followed outside, cameras in hand, signs. Stop the harassment. A boulder shattered my window. Ortiz ran them off at 11 p.m. This peaks within 48 hours, she warned. Stay within the law. Thursday, plastic for sale sign on my lawn. Mailbox egged with ketchup. 7 bogus police calls, noise complaints, drug tips, jammed emergency lines. Friday, 3 cars blocked my driveway. 15 people arrived. Evelyn in the lead with a clipboard, performing for the cameras. Sarah had the cars removed on grounds of private property. Video caught Evelyn, 3:47 a.m., arranging rocks outside my window, watering them to make it look like new damage. Evidence tampering, Sarah answered. That night I uploaded a video, Truth from 428 Oak Lane. It went viral. Video of Chad's break-ins, Evelyn's racism, her stage vandalism. It went viral. Crowds broke up. Some left red-faced. Evelyn called it fake, but internet detectives confirmed all. Saturday, Ortiz confirmed charges. Chad, vandalism, attempted burglary, false reports. Evelyn, defamation, evidence tampering. The HOA forgave all my infractions. Channel 7 requested a follow-up. I passed. Sunday, Evelyn approached, quiet, apologetic. I screwed up, Marcus. Chad's charged. I'm in trouble. We could lose our home. Please, drop the hate crime aspect. I just wanted my garage back, I told her. You took this too far. She nodded, empty. Eventually, the HOA forgave all infractions. Chad got probation. Evelyn, 2 years on an ankle monitor. They left 6 months later. A good family filled their spot. I reclaimed my garage. Business is booming. Pinewood Grove residents still argue. Was I a hero or a troublemaker? But my lock is still secure. My collards are thriving, and I kept my space.